Hey, it's Desiree. Thank you so much for watching this video. I pray that God gives you revelation. And if you like it, please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps. Okay, so we're going to get into the topic. And the topic is, what kind of soil are you? A couple weeks ago, my pastor was giving a message. And in the middle of the message, he just asked the congregation, what kind of soil were we? And then paused for effect and then just kept going. And when that happened, it was like ding, 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 video idea, because what kind of soil am I and what kind of soil are you? And so this question derived from a parable in Matthew 13. And this is when Jesus is at the Sea of Galilee and he's talking to a whole bunch of people and they run out of space. So he gets on a boat and starts talking to them. I'm going to be looking down. I'll be looking at my Bible. So bear with me. I'm going to try my best to not let the video quality go down. Okay. So starting at verse 3, he told them many things in parables, saying, listen carefully. A sower went out to sow seed in the field. And as he sowed, some seed fell beside the road, between the fields, and the birds came and ate it. Other seed fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil, and at once they sprang up, because they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns came up and choked them out. Other seed fell on good soil and yielded grain, some 100 times as much, some 60 times as much, and some 30. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear and heed my words. And so further down in the chapter, the disciples ask him what he meant. And so this is what he says. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom regarding salvation and does not understand and grasp it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is the one whom the seed was sown beside the road. The one on whom the seed was sown on the rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word and at once welcomes it with joy, yet has no substantial root in himself, but is only temporary, and when pressure or persecution comes because of the word, immediately he stumbles and falls away, abandoning the one who is the source of salvation. And the one whom the seed was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the worries and distractions of the world and the deceitfulness, the superficial pleasures and delight of riches choke the word and yield it no fruit. And the one on whom the seed was sown on the good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands and grasps it. He indeed bears fruit and yields some 100 times as much as was sown, some 60 times as much, and some 30. And so when I was reading this, it hit me a little bit different. Now, yes, for sure, this is talking about in regards to the message of salvation, but I think that is also talking about other seeds that God has given us. So I think about the seeds that he's given me in my life. And I think that those could be anything from revelation. It could be anything from dreams and visions, promises, everything. And there's been many times where I was not the correct soil for those dreams, those promises, those visions, those words, that revelation, to grow and become what it is supposed to be, because I was not in the right place with God. Last week, I put a video saying that I needed to get better at spending time with him. I had fallen off a little bit, and so I've done a 5x5x5 challenge, and something that as I've been reading my word more, getting back into it and praying and through fellowship, God has shown me that there has been some things that he's given me that I've let fall to the ground, or that was sown on rocky ground or thorny ground, and therefore those things have not sprung up. And I think that that's probably with a lot of believers. So I'm just going to kind of pose this question. What kind of soil are you? What kind of soil are you? Like, has God given you things, and because you didn't have faith for them, they were thrown to the ground? They were thrown on the side of the road, not into the ground, but thrown on the side of the road, and they withered, and the birds ate them because you didn't have faith? You know, faith is a currency in heaven, and it is also a love language of God, faith and trust. And if we don't have those things, then we can stop our promises from coming because we did not have the faith for them, and therefore our seed went to the ground. Has something that God has given you. So an example for me is God has told me multiple times to write down my dreams. I do them sometimes and sometimes I don't. And that is me allowing myself to be rocky ground, because the pressure, the pressures of life. I'm too sleepy. I have to be at work. I gotta do this. It'd be too long. I remember every single detail. It takes forever. Yada, yada, yada. All these things has caused me to be rocky ground. Is there something that God has given you, and because of pressures of life, you've kind of let your soil become rocky, basically, and that promise God hasn't been able to do what he wants to do with whatever it is. And then, are you thorny ground? Does being rich, does the finer things in life, or just things, or idols in life, are there things that are more important to you than being obedient to God? These things cause you to be thorny ground, and they will squeeze up and kill the seed that God has given you. I know for me, I definitely, you know, I want property, and I want to be able to, you know, be successful and to be a millionaire if God allows. And I don't want to have lack, and I do not want poverty. I want to break poverty off of my family line. But that can become an idol, and that can cause me to be thorny ground. I cannot forget that who God is. He is the promise keeper. He is the one who gives us the seed. And I cannot forget the sower. And so, yeah. Or are you good soil? Are you seeing fruit from what God has given you? If you're not, then you better take a look and start thinking about what kind of soil are you. Okay, so I also want to take you guys to Ecclesiastes 12, and I'm just going to read part of it. I'm going to start at 6, and it says, "Earnestly remember your Creator before the silver cord of life is broken, or the golden bowl is crushed, or the pitcher at the fountain is shattered, and the wheel at the cistern is crushed. Then the dust out of which God made man's body will return to the earth as it is, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. Vanity of vanity, says the preacher. All that is done without God's guidance is vanity." And then I'm going to skip down to 13 and finish it off. And it says, "When all has been heard, the end of the matter is, fear God, worship him with all-filled reverence, knowing that he is almighty. And keep his commandments, for this applies to every person. For God will bring every act to judgment, every hidden and secret thing, whether it is good or evil." So I wanted to finish this off with this, because this life is vanity. It's full of vanity. We're here for a short time, and then we're gone, and then we're in eternity with God, or not, and we're in hell. One or the other. And so this is why it is important to not forget who our Creator is, who the Creator of the world is. We cannot forget about him. We cannot not spend time with him. We cannot keep killing and allowing the seeds that he gives us to be killed. So again, I pose to you, what kind of soil are you? Something to meditate on and think about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next week.